So this wasn't something uncommon. She was a lady who had mental health issues, and what she needed was a helping hand from the police officer. Instead, she got 5 bullets. She was on medication. She saw doctors, and we know without a doubt she had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and the police department in Baytown all knew it. They knew. So, next question.
As far as that goes, I know you mentioned that you're waiting to hear more from the police department. What conversations have taken place, if at all, about the police department's knowledge of her mental health issues with you guys?
Come on, Chelsea can do it. Y'all let Chelsea step back and take your time.
When we went to find out what happened to my mom, I spoke with an officer named Officer Schenneberg of Baytown Police Department, and I asked him personally, have you ever had to be to aid to my mother, been called for my mother? He told me yes. And I said, I know you did, because she personally had a phone call, a conversation with me, and let me know that he personally treated her wrong as well before this incident. And he said, okay, that's fine. And I said, so you were aware of her medical, her diagnosis, her mental health issues? And he said, yes, that is in our system. Those are his exact words.
And as Attorney Martinez and Attorney Bob Hilliard and I found, and Danny Ray Thomas, police are supposed to be trained how to interact with people who suffer from mental illness. Now, you look at that video and you tell me if he was trained to deal with a lady who he knew had a mental health crisis and had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. He knew it firsthand. In fact, he lived there in that complex. He saw her days upon days. In fact, Cameron used to live in that apartment with his mother up until 4 months ago. So everybody there knew she had a mental health issue. Everybody.
One thing.
Yes,
the police officer
the shooter.
that shot her. The one that shot her.
Okay.
What conversations did you have with your mother
Okay.
She specifically informed me of that officer personally coming to her house dressed in casual clothes. She told me he had on cargo pants and a gray t-shirt, and his gun was on his hip, and he threatened to take her to jail because of her mental illness in the episode that she was having. One thing I do want to say, just because she had a mental illness does not mean that every single moment of her life she was acting crazy, as everybody else would call it. She had episodes. Other than that, she was just like everybody else out here. She would talk to you, give you anything she could, and she knows how to have a conversation. She wasn't a weirdo, a creep, or anything like that. She was a normal person. She just had moments that she couldn't control. And the way that they're painting it out, as if she was this psycho, this person who had no control at all, who just was outrageous and always irate, that's not my mom. That's not her. And in this moment when he killed her, I have not watched the video, but I heard it. I will not watch my mom die. I won't. But I heard her talking, and she was speaking in her normal voice. When she's sick and she's having an episode, she don't sound the same. And that was my mom in her best, in her just regular. She was okay. She was just really wanting to go home, and that's it. That's it.
And Tracy want to say something. Let's back up for just a second. Tracy, who's actually a nurse.
All I want to say is that she was simply making her way to her apartment when it happened. And someone asked the question, was she on medication? It didn't matter. It didn't matter whether she was on medication or not at that particular moment.
Because she wasn't doing anything.
She was not acting out in a way that where it needs to be questioned whether she was on medication or not.
Yeah.
Yes, she wasn't doing anything wrong.
And it's like Attorney Washington said, it's almost, we have to come out and defend the victim who was killed in an unbelievable manner versus when it's a white person killed, nobody asks questions about her in Minneapolis. They only said, my God, this police officer killed this unarmed woman. Well, why can't Pamela Turner get the same consideration from America? We'll take questions. Let's try to ask legal questions.